To Kill a Mockingbird, video 22. Okay, so if you have internalized all of the words from the previous video, let's go. One night, in an excessive spurt of high spirits, the boys backed around the square in a borrowed flivver, old car, resisted arrest by Maycomb's ancient beetle. So not only the guy was not important, the guy was very old. So imagine how fragile he was, and he tried to arrest the whole gang there. I don't know, 3 or 4 people. So his name was Mr. Connor. And then what did the boys do? The boys didn't accept that, and then they locked him in the courthouse outhouse, so the shit house, right? The town decided something had to be done. Mr. Connor said he knew who each and every one of them was, and he was bound and determined, and he was going to, and chances were very high that he was going to, he was bound and determined, they wouldn't get away with it. Because remember, the expression get away with something is to do something wrong and then not be punished. I really think you should connect with get away with murder, which doesn't mean just, I killed somebody and then I'm not punished for that. Get away with murder is an expression that means, I don't know, politicians in Brazil very frequently get away with murder, right? They're corrupt and then they get away with murder. I believe there is a series called How to Get Away with Murder about lawyers, teaching lawyers how to be dishonest. Remember, the lawyers are not going to kill people, right? They're going to do some dishonest stuff, they're going to get money out of it, and in the end they'll get away with murder. Or they will get away with doing what they did. Okay, but the town here decided they wouldn't let the boys get away with it. So the boys came before the probate judge on the charges, remember, on the charges, on the accusation, right? On the charges of disorderly conduct. This is the first charge. Second charge, disturbing the peace. Third charge, assault and battery, because they assaulted, right, Mr. Connor. Assault and battery. And one more charge, using abusive and profane language in the presence and hearing of a female. I think that's very nice that they had a law like that. Remember, this is not fiction. This is not fiction. First of all, this is based on real facts. Second, there were, and maybe there are, some laws in some states, regarding that, There was a law passed on, I don't remember the state, but I think the law was struck down by the Supreme Court. You could not use language that would offend or impress, others. You would make people feel bad, all right? So imagine how absurd a law like that is, right? So I don't know, I'm talking about something that is uncomfortable for you, and then you can sue me, instead of just looking at me and say, you talk nonsense, I don't want to hear to you anymore, I don't want to talk to you anymore, so bye, And apparently in this little town we have a law that says you cannot curse in front of ladies, right? I don't know, you are with your pals, right? You are at a barber shop, you are drinking, no ladies around, that's okay, right? But you cannot offend the ears of a lady, all right? So this, remember, was one of the charges that were pressed against those boys. I'm emphasizing that because the vocabulary charge is very important here, even though I didn't talk separately in the last video. Let's go on. The judge asked Mr. Connor why he included the last charge, because apparently it was in the middle of the night, and why? Was there a lady there with you? What was happening? Mr. Connor said they cussed. Cussed is like curse, right? Remember that curse can be, I don't know, I will write your name in a piece of paper and I'll get a frog or a toad, a toad, and I will put the little piece of paper in the frog's mouth, and then I'm going to sew the mouth, and then you'll be cursed, right? This is curse, right? Please, 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 please don't ever say English curse. You know, people say that all the time. I don't know why, but students love to say that. Oh, I really love this English curse because the teachers and the school. No, you don't love English curse. English curse like, whoa, now you are cursed. You will just hear English all around, right? No, it's English course, right? Course, not curse. Well, that's not the point so much of the point, but the point is, this is curse, okay? I'm a witch, or I don't know, a wizard, or whatever, and then I curse you, right? You will never, I don't know, sleep again without thinking about English, right? And then this is the English curse, right? But curse can also mean using offensive language, okay? And another way to say curse is cuss. C-U-S-S, as you can see. Okay. So the judge asked, okay, but were there ladies around? And then Mr. Connor answered. Mr. Connor said they cussed so loud he was sure every lady in Maycomb heard them. The judge decided to send the boys to the state industrial school, where boys were sometimes sent for no other reason than to provide them with food and decent shelter. It was no prison, and it was no disgrace. Mr. Radley thought it was. If the judge released Arthur is the boy, of course, Mr. Radley would see to it that Arthur gave no further trouble. Knowing that Mr. Radley's word was his bond, the judge was glad to do so. Okay, keep in mind, bound here is a certificate, you know, showing that you are in debt with a person. Okay, so he was good for his word. All right, you could trust the guy.